Welcome to EFT MBA Mastering Business Acumen with the help of EFT business experts. Learn the marketing, mindset, and skill set you need to create the EFT coaching practice of your dreams. Visit www.eftmba.com for more information. And now, here's the EFT training team that embodies the art and science of EFT. Alina Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show. We need to create a new intro and outro audio because we have rebranded and we are not Mastering Business Acumen. We are now Marketing and Business Academy for EFT coaches.
That's so much better. I mean, I like the acumen part, but I like the academy way better. It really is much more accurate to what we're doing and every day. Yeah.
Yep. So before we get into the topic of our show, I just want to remind listeners that we are taking applications for the next EFT MBA program, which starts at the end of this month. So you need to get those applications in so we can review them, have a chat with you, see where you are in your business, and if it's a good fit for you, if it's a good fit for us. So that's happening now. So Craig is meeting with applicants right now this week.
Today.
Today. So at EFTMBA.com, we'll get you to the application and we can talk about all the particulars during our meeting with you. But we want to talk about something that we are very much aware of in our program, which is, hey Craig, can you hear me?
I can hear you just fine.
Oh, yeah. Okay, just hit a button here. Okay. It is the fear of success, which we hear many EFT coaches report that they have this. Or if I also work with a lot of women that are just entrepreneurs and they're looking at why they procrastinate. And one of the things that they mention is they have fear of success. So as EFT business coaches, we have the opportunity to work with people in the especially tapping practitioners, and are constantly surprised at how many of them express this deep-seated fear of having financial success. The issues that arise regarding charging for their time and their services run the gamut ranging from not wanting to offend a client to not wanting their client to be hurt, to giving away more services than they are getting paid for. I mean, it's just like all over the map.
Mm-hmm.
So why should your services, the amazing services that you provide other people that are life transformative in nature, why should you be discounting that? You don't expect your neighbor grocer to cut their fees, do you? So some practitioners seem to attract potential clients who can't afford their services, while others seem to rarely have that occur. Why is that? Other tapping coaches report that the first question prospective clients ask is how they can help. How can you help me? But how much do you charge? It's not right. Asking how can you help me. It's how much do you charge? And if any of this sounds familiar, and you find yourself flustered when talking about how much you charge and expressing the value that you offer your clients in, like, let's say, a consult, then you're tuned into the right show. So, Craig?
Yep. Want me to start?
Go for it.
I am. I love this. So this is so great. So, from my perspective, it's crazy. It's just crazy that EFT tapping practitioners are helping their clients transform their life and their successes all the time. We're seeing them help all their clients create new businesses and new opportunities, and then they privately say, you know what, I really need me. And the changes, and it's not showing up in their life. So we're going to go through our top list of why we think that happens, what our experience is. The first one that I want to start off with is the fear of what happens if I'm seen and and the fear of my success is being seen that I'm a hypocrite, that somehow that when people see me as a success, They're going to know something about me. They're going to see I don't live like a success, or I'll have an element of a successful something, but then they'll see how they really live or what it's really like, and that I failed here and I didn't succeed there. And there's this fear of that transparency of failure where it's like I'm not always a success. Right? Like if I really knew how to do this, I'd be able to do this all the time. So I had like one really good project, but the other one just totally failed and flopped. And somehow that when I create a level of succeeding, that I'm going to be seen for also my failures and what I didn't succeed at. And that whole transparency issue that shows up with reaching success or reaching a certain point of success is one of the fears that I see. Yeah?
Okay. Give me this whole topic to me is very interesting because it is very amorphous.
Mhm.
So
it
why
is
don't you
amorphous.
Okay. So why is
you want
it
me to
amorphous?
say more about that?
Yeah,
it's amorphous because all of these fears of succeeding, like people, it's become a meme. I fear being successful.
Yeah.
What
does that
like
even mean?
This level of category, a memeness of I have fear of success. What does that mean to me? I'm not really sure, but I just know because it's not showing up that I must have a fear of it happening. I can't really point to exactly why, and I'm going to kind of make up these reasons why, but ultimately they all come down to, guess what? Past negative experiences in which somehow it created some belief that they can't succeed or shouldn't succeed, or if they succeed, they'll be judged, or if they succeed, then they won't be able to keep it up, or all kinds of these things. I mean, we're going to make some of them up here because we hear them from people. But the truth of it is, I guess we're just getting to the bottom line because you asked me to go there, is the bottom line is the past negative experiences that I created a belief from that experience that shows up as why I'm not succeeding, why I'm not living my dream, why I'm not living out my passion, and it's showing up as a fear of success because that's how I believe it to be. Otherwise, I'd be successful, right? So I must be scared of it happening. Otherwise, I'd have it.
Right. So, fear of success. Let's talk about some. So, yeah, the amorphous thing is because it shows up as this. What is it, implicit memory?
Yeah, so basically, you know what, so here's what happens. We all know in EFT that we've all lived through traumas, the little t traumas, the big T traumas, and more than most people realize outside of the EFT world. And when we have those, what happens is, especially when there's trauma, we don't remember all the details of a trauma. Half of them get buried in our body. We get these implicit memories and these physical sensations and literally this physical memory somatically stored in our body that shows up in different situations. So all of a sudden, I'm meeting with somebody, and they're like talking about a great collaborative venture, and we're going to partner, and we each need to, we need to have our responsibilities and our partnership, and all of a sudden, I'm feeling nauseous. And it's like, this is a dream lunch. This is like I've been dreaming about something to fall into my lap, and this opportunity, and all of a sudden, I'm choking. I can't even speak, and I'm sweating, and I'm certainly not eloquent or fluent or collaborative. I feel like I have to run to the bathroom. What is that? What is that? We know that it's just some implicit memory that's connected neurophysiologically in our brain back to those past traumas when we felt a similar feeling of being expected to do something, having a level of expectation, of being seen, of the sense of responsibility that's being placed on us that we don't feel up to. Any of those, and there's so many more, but they just all of a sudden create this lack of ability to step into the gift that was just given to us because of this amorphous fear that we're not even sure why in the moment. Yeah. Right? So that's, I guess, really, really the bottom line of what's happening here. Now, there's certainly other ones that show up. I mean, in succeeding, generally there's going to be some sort of promoting what you're doing, right? Yeah. Whether it's your practice or a book that you've written or a project you've created or a DVD you've made, whatever it is, there's going to need to be some promotion of it.
Sure.
And generally, in success, there's going to include some promotion of yourself, especially as an EFT practitioner, because you're so involved with your project personally. So the fear of self-promoting, what does that mean? That's usually inherent. All of a sudden, people are going to judge, am I a salesperson? Am I a marketer? Am I an egoic personality that doesn't have compassion? I mean, we all have the associations of what it means to self-promote and all the negative self-talk that can go along with it, right?
Yep. So I was, as you were talking, I was only half listening, I have to say, because
oh my God, I'm so hurt. I'm devastated. God, I feel nauseous. Okay.
No, because what you were saying really had me thinking about just in the last few weeks, what have I seen as when somebody comes in and says, I have this fear of success, or something its close cousin, which is fear of failure. In the last few weeks, people have come to me, and this is what they have presented with as forms of this. So someone said that they absolutely hate their wrinkles. Okay?
Okay, you're going to have to explain that segue.
Well, when I look in the mirror and I see what other people see, I'm afraid to put myself out there.
Yep.
So another one, I hate the weight that I'm at. So, and actually, I've had somebody that turned down a presentation at one of our live events because they were going to be speaking to 100 people, and they weren't at the goal weight that they wanted to be in. Okay. Another one is I am procrastinating writing sales copy for a program that I'm launching. Another one is I can't write the About Me page on my website. Another one is I'm procrastinating getting my certification papers into my mentor. So that's what I say about this whole thing about fear of success. Just like any other thing that you're working with, if you really want to get results, you're going to have to, that's just the first layer, the presenting issue, what the person says. No one is going to, you're not going to be able to really, unless you sit with some time and do some tapping on this, you really will not get to, my fear of success is really showing up in my procrastination in writing my sales page. And the reason why is because when I was in 4th grade, I handed an autobiography to my teacher, and she told me that my penmanship looked like it had been written by a monkey. So that's not the way that you are going to think about this, because you know this from working with your clients. That's not how they present their issues. It's this amorphous, I feel like I'm afraid to put myself out there. I'm afraid of success, all of these things. And so really, these things are completely illogical. They're there. Start with what's presenting itself and do some tapping, either with someone else or on yourself. And that leads us to the last bit of the show, which is the lost art of tail enders. Craig, what do I mean by do you know what I mean by that?
I totally. You know what? I mean, we still see, Louise Hay syndrome out here. We still see people tapping on the positive self-affirmations. And, we do believe that affirmations are useful, but not in the way that a lot of people say. So affirmations, when spoken, rarely produce results unless one truly believes them to be true. But what we know from EFT is that there's a hell of a lot of junk behind, like Oz sits behind and back behind where you can't see it. What's behind the affirmation? What's behind the I am wealthy, I have everything, I have the home of my dreams and the life I want, and in the back of my head it's going, you do not. This is not where you really want to be. You don't really deserve things that great, not yet. You're not good enough yet. Yada da 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 da. Right? Those voices behind, those are the tail enders. And we don't often say thank you, tail ender, but in this way we can.
Yeah, and what I mean by the lost art of tail enders is that people think that positive tapping actually does something. And they gloss over this whole idea of what happens when you are tapping. You are tuning in. You're not tapping in, you're tuning in. You're tapping away the negative emotion. You're tuning in to why you're still stuck. So those insights, connections, subconscious associations will bubble up to the top and say, no way, no how, I don't believe that, I don't care what you're saying, you're turning this positive spin, and I'm not swallowing it. So let's do some tapping on this. Again, it's the sole purpose of this is for you to become enlightened a little bit more about what is still there for you to work on when we think, oh, I have this fear of success.
Great.
All right, so let's tap, tune in, and write down what it is where you hear some negative self-talk, or you feel it in your body, like every cell of your body is screaming, who, what? No way. All right, so it doesn't, because we're tuning in and using tapping as tuning in and not clearing, we don't need to start at the karate chop point.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
let's start.
So let's start at any point. I'm starting at the top of the head.
Okay, I'll follow.
All right, I love being successful.
I love being successful.
It's my birthright to be successful.
It is my birthright to be successful.
I enjoy every part of succeeding in my business life.
I enjoy every part of succeeding in my business life.
I am 100% congruent with my message.
I am. I'm 100% congruent with the message I'm putting out there.
I feel 100% congruent with my life being what it is.
I feel 100% congruent with my life as it is right now.
And sharing that with other people.
And sharing that with others.
I feel expansive when I share my life with other people.
I feel expansive when I share my life and my business with other people.
Especially when I tell them about my life and what hasn't worked.
Especially when I tell other people about my life and what has and hasn't worked.
I feel this ease and flow to keep all of this going.
I feel ease and I feel flow in keeping all these things going.
I love to tell people about my products and my services.
I love to tell people about my work, my product, my services, what I do.
I am completely at ease.
I'm completely at ease.
With other people seeing me succeed.
With other people seeing me succeeding, my success, and them seeing me successful.
I love all areas of marketing my business.
I love the areas of putting myself out there and marketing my business.
I do it with grace and ease.
I do it with grace and ease and fun and joy and playfulness.
Feel supported in all my ventures by the universe.
I feel supported in my ventures and my business ventures by the universe.
I love being successful.
I love being successful.
It's my birthright to be successful.
It's my birthright to be successful.
Okay.
Okay. Now, hopefully, people made some little asterisk notes on some of those. The ones where it was a little bit, not really. I'm saying it and tapping because they're saying it, but that wasn't true, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some
and
resistance.
So, yeah. Right. So even if you said it and when you said it, you could say it. I mean, for many people, when I do tail enders exercises, you can even see that they have a hard time saying these things. So we know there's a block there. But also, some people don't really do it that way. They feel the block in their body. So if every part of you is like, yes, I just love being successful, and you say that, but then you tune into your body and there's some kind of heaviness or constriction or tension, then you know you're not fully aligned with it.
Right. Yep.
So
that's a good way of listening. Yeah.
So the next step would be to ask yourself, where did I get that? Why am I not in alignment with that? What makes me afraid of self-promotion? What does that even mean? And really dig deep and start, these are just surface layers. And we know with EFT the best thing to do is to find specific events. So if you're afraid or you're procrastinating on writing, let's say, sales copy for a program, or writing a letter to someone telling them about your services, or connecting with an old friend who has a friend that can really connect you to your niche, then I want you to ask you to pull out that letter. Imagine picking up the phone. In fact, get the phone number out and sit there thinking about making that call. What comes up? Are you feeling in your body? Start with what's happening currently as a way to start accessing those things that are long buried. You don't even know that they're there, from childhood, most likely.
The amorphousness that just creeps into our current present and just limits our future. It's amazing how it does that, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is.
All right, so we'd love to hear what you have to say. You can go on our website, EFT Tapping Training, where the show is going to live indefinitely. And there's a comment box. We'd love to hear what came up for you during this exercise. I want to remind you again that we're starting EFT MBA at the end of this month, so get your applications in. We also have a webinar coming up, an evening webinar, which is all on... So, Craig, you explain it. Internal and external marketing?
Yeah, so we're going to be exploring how to market. Yes, the dirty word market. How do you market yourself? Looking internally from the ways that you can, both internally and externally. So externally is going to be out to the world, right, and new people and people you haven't met. Internally is going to be both between the ears, in a sense, but it's also going to mean how do you best market to those people that you already know, that have already been clients. How do you expand that degree of your business within those that have already been? And, just one thing I just wanted to add that just came from me is, I'm going to have to tell people something about you, Alina.
Oh, no.
I am.
Okay.
You ready? They won't believe
myself.
They may not believe it.
Okay.
Alina's actually an introvert. There. That is. I did.
You
she
did.
is.
Yeah.
And what I want to say is, while I'm not, I was really shy for a lot of years. And I just want to hold the place that hopefully in some ways we can be a template for, a model for, an example of, that marketing can be fun. It can be playful. It can be joyous. It can be silly. It can be all kinds of things. And it's whatever you can make it. It can be absolutely in integrity. It can be absolutely authentic. It can be playful, light, strong, changing, oscillating. You know what? There is no right or wrong way. You just need to find your way in which the best of you comes out. And I just want to really offer that as a possibility because people go, oh, well, you can do that or you've done that or whatever. You know, we didn't always do this. And it gets easier and it gets more comfortable, but it's mostly about being at peace and getting rid of your junk from your past that just lets you be you. And whether you're talking about you and what you're doing to a family member on the phone or whether you're talking to thousands of people as we're doing now, there's really not that much of a difference once you clear out the past negative experiences that say it's something different. So I just want to put that out there as a perspective to maybe it'll spark somebody. Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a good point. Everyone thinks that I'm this extrovert because I do promote myself, and the fact is I'm not, and that has nothing to do with putting yourself out there, and it has absolutely nothing to do with fear of success. You just feel that it is. So we're going to honor that you feel that way. It's just like we said, these fears are illogical. So getting down to them and why they're there is really important, and part of what we do with the MBA program.
Yep.
All righty.
All right,
okay.
everybody.
Thank you.
Okie doke. Thanks for joining us.
You have been listening to EFT MBA with Elena Frank and Dr. Craig Weiner. To get your free report on the 5 secrets to create a rockin' EFT practice and to learn more about the EFT MBA program, visit www.eftmba.com.